Hello and welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia podcast produced by Matt Stoker, and I am Michelle Welch.
And I'm Roger Welch. So what's up today, Michelle?
Wow, it's hot here in Texas.
Just a wee bit warm.
Is this the hottest day?
No,
of
it was hotter.
This wonderful year of 2020?
No, it was actually hotter a couple of days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have slept through that one.
Yeah. You were working on your book, so you were you're getting it all done. So
like
you
I said, slept through it.
Yeah, you were getting all that finished up, and it was like 102 one day, something like that. 102.
It wasn't 102 today?
No, it only got to 100 today.
It
just a
felt
wee bit, just a wee bit warm.
It felt like 102 to me today.
Yeah.
No. Actually, I'm not kidding when I say it felt like 110.
It really was, because our hot water heater went out, and I was out in the garage trying to fix it, and it really was out there in the garage, draining the hot water heater and trying to get everything reset.
When we went out in the car, I just, it felt hot. That fringe is, can you fix it over there? It's driving me crazy.
The fringe on your side?
The fringe isn't fringing over there on your side. No, no, it's just going to drive me nuts. Okay, so it's not fringing right. It's like,
there.
Oh, I don't know. Okay,
I mean,
well, we're here.
There's other things to worry about,
I'm
like
not
how
worried
hot
about
it is.
But yeah, like how hot it is. No, we're just, I tell you, now definitely in Texas there are other things to worry about.
Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, Roger? You think things are going to stay open here in Texas?
They could put limitations back into place. I could see that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I did see and I couldn't find it again. I saw this news article that said that there was like 2,000 test results that went out in Texas, 2,000 test results that went out as being positive that weren't actually positive because they screwed up. So,
well, I don't know. 2,000 is not that many to really change the figures that much, though. 2,000's, I don't know how, in the big scheme of it.
If it's 2,000 in a week, that's quite a few.
Oh, in a week, I guess it would.
Yeah,
well,
it was like,
I do know that we lost a friend today, or I did. A friend, sister, actually, found out passed to COVID today. She actually had asthma, so it's a real deal.
Yeah.
You know, so COVID-19 is the year of. I was thinking, what else would you say 2020 has been to you so far besides that? When we look back, what would you think 2020 has been to you?
Lots of changes. How about that?
Well,
it's been change after change after change after change.
do you think it's because of that?
Well, there's that. There's all types of things that's happened this year.
Okay.
So, there's just been a lot of changes.
For me, it would be my book. I mean, that's just been the biggest thing in my life, personally. It would be my book, just because I've never done that before. And it's just kind of consumed. It's sort of you're in a non-reality, but somehow it blends into the reality of it because the book ends up being about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of wondering what people who listen or watch, what their year separate and apart, if you could make it separate and apart, what your 2020 has been about. If you could think of like one word.
Mm-hmm.
You said change.
Change, yeah.
I would say book. I don't know. Matt's busy over there, so I don't know if he can tell us what his word would be.
Fixing the lights, I apologize.
His would be technological.
Come on, Matt. We're out of Mercury retrograde. Shouldn't be any issues now.
Yeah.
I know. There must be a little bit of lingering effects.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been busier this year than I ever have been.
That's good, right?
It's a good thing. Yeah, no, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely feels like I am finding myself struggling to find time at the end of the day to just relax and not feel like I have something else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not busy with necessarily work that's paying the bills. It's busy with taking care of things that have to be taken care of.
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything, right? Yeah. It's busy with work and with, extra other work, and then that makes it busy with stuff at home, and so it's just like, things start to pile up, and there definitely have been days where I'm like, I gotta just sit here for the rest of the day and not do anything.
Just be.
Yeah. Or work outside on what it was apparently the hottest day of the year. I think it was on Sunday where I spent all day working outside.
Did you? That's draining too.
It was. It was indeed.
That'll whip
Yeah.
your ass fast.
That will. Well, tonight, what are we going to talk about, Roger?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Well, it's always Bigfoot.
Oh.
See, here's what I think. I think that I shouldn't even do the show. I should run the thing because, that would really be interesting if I sat in Matt's place because there would be no show, first of all, if I was doing what Matt's doing. But
We'd have one
Matt
light
and
purple,
Roger should do a
one
show
light
on
red.
Bigfoot because they would be 100 million times more interesting, right? Okay, so or if they did shows on all the interesting things they like to
The
talk about.
oddities.
The oddities.
We should do a show on oddities. You know what I saw the other day I almost bought that was on the oddities thing on Facebook?
What?
A cadaver table.
Okay, where are we going to put that one?
I don't know. That was my only issue of not buying it.
We
But it was
could
an
put it
old
right here.
wood- it was an old wood folding cadaver table. Kind of like your massage table, but all wood. And folded down. Be kind of cool.
it would.
Unique.
It
I
could-
bet nobody else has one.
I bet you somebody does, but
But there's not many out there.
so
You can
what's
set it
a
up
cada-
and set the TV on it.
is that what they used to use like in the morgues?
Uh-huh.
But they were wood.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And they
Podcast
traveled
off
with
of
it.
it. You could put it in here.
Yeah, we could put it
That's
in
what I was
here.
thinking.
We
It
could
might
use
be
our
cool.
podcast from it right here.
It would've
Wouldn't be
been-
weird energy with that at all.
No,
No.
not at all. I like
Then-
it. Maybe I'll just see if they sold it yet.
it just maybe that'd be interesting. I know that Laura Pace would love that too, right?
Yeah.
Laura said she's going to pop back on sometime, so she's
Well,
real
she
busy
better.
too. She's also been very busy.
I was texting
Matt.
her the other day. She needs to get
So
her
she'll
down
she'll
here.
get back. I bet that would get her on the show. She would have that table. Well, so we're gonna talk about actually something pretty interesting tonight. And we're gonna
Ancient divination.
Ancient divination, and it's
Old-timey divinations.
not just your scrying or. I tried to look up kind of really interesting ones. Most of them I can't pronounce, so I thought I'd try to pronounce them and see if y'all could guess what some of them are, like you and Matt.
Alrighty.
A couple of them,
If
right?
you can say them, we'll guess them.
And if I can't say them, I'll spell them for y'all, all right?
right.
So I'm just going to kind of skip around. And there are a lot. Now, just so you know, in the Greek is where a lot of these words are going to come from. Mancy. So, you think of a lot of whatever mancy, right? Like cartomancy.
Yeah.
What do you know what that one is? Roger, I know you know what cartomancy is.
It's the reading of shopping carts.
Okay. Cartomancy. So
Oh.
just mancy is going to mean prophecy, pretty much, okay? That's a mancy was a mantia or something like that. Was the Greek word mancy is the way we say it for prophecy. So whatever word is before it is going to kind of help us define whatever mancy, something kind of prophecy, okay? Cartomancy is cards, fortune telling with cards. Cartomancy. Remember the cartomancer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Magazine. Very good magazine.
Yes.
You guys should all digitally subscribe to. All right.
Yes.
So here is our first one for you guys.
I'll have to write them down.
And I'm really, really glad that y'all are doing this and not me. Okay. So the first one is gyromancy.
You really want me to answer this?
Yeah, I really do.
All right. This is prophesizing by the disco shaking of the hips.
How well you can twerk.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good guess.
Maybe it's the reading of those Mediterranean sandwiches.
There you
The
go.
gyros.
Yeah.
Do you remember that when we wrecked the boat? We were eating those
Oh.
gyro sandwiches. We had a boat that we rented, Matt, and we wrecked it. It was brand new.
We didn't actually wreck it. The water was a little shallow, and we hit the prop on a big rock.
Roger.
Too bad.
Mac, and it cracked.
It
the-
was brand new, and it was the fanciest
like they had just
boat in the
they
boat
had just
club.
they had just put the boat in the water, and they said, "Here, just take this boat." All right, we're going up to Party Cove and
I was
smacked a rock.
I was
happens.
eating my gyro sandwich.
There you go.
Just
And you didn't get a fortune. You didn't gyromance the The
we
sandwich?
we did not foresee for my gyro cookie or gyro sandwich foresee that we were going to wreck the boat.
I
or
don't
buy
think
my
that's how
boat.
you say it, but that's how you spell
no,
it.
so
you
what?
should have been looking at that a little bit.
Yeah. So gyromancy is kind of interesting. So this did make me think of Laura because one of her twins, she has twins. One of them, I think it's Sadie. She'll spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and
That
dancing,
girl,
right?
She
spins.
won't stop.
So it's basically where you spin and you spin and you spin till you're almost in a trance-like state. Okay, so it's dizziness. So gyro is by dizziness. Gyro is from the Greek word that means spiral. So it's spiral prophecy. And you do a reading basically where they're just spinning, 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 spinning. It could be where they land, like if you have something they're pointing at, or where they fall down.
So is this where Spin the Bottle came from?
It probably is.
Oh.
That is
Okay, I know what that
probably-
one
Form
is.
of it, yeah.
I know what that one is.
That's
Yeah.
probably where that came from. But this is based on the person and then maybe what they say. So that is gyromancy, okay? And I'm sure that my daughter, if she was listening or if she was here, would correct. That's because she was correcting me in how I pronounced all
Yes,
these,
she
right?
was.
Okay, so that's a pretty interesting, right? All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, this one I really am not sure how to pronounce, so I'm going to say I'm going to spell it. It's Gelo, so geloscopy, like, or geloscopy, or if the G is pronounced
Gelo.
Gelo, scopy, scopy, geloscopy.
I would say that is scrying into Jello.
Okay, that's a very good guess. These are ancient divination forms, so Jello would probably be a fairly new.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, Matt.
I guess it's like because it's similar to geology, although it's not the same word. It makes me think of like rocks or something like that.
That is a fair guess,
Yeah.
and it is wrong.
Okay. Well, I tried.
I'm playing with you. It's laughter. It is laughter. Laughter observation. So you observe the laughter, and when they're laughing, what they're laughing at, and it's a form of divination. Okay, these are real. I'm not kidding. Most of them date back to the Greek Roman era, where they drank a lot, probably.
Obviously,
Yeah.
that's why they
And,
did this.
Yeah.
So what we're
And some of these are
what we
gonna be
heard just then
Mesopotamia.
is when you're doing these, drink a lot.
Well, no, because but all right. Y'all ready for another one?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this one. Well, okay. This one's called. Okay. It's called Drimamancy. It's like DRIM ancy. Drimamancy. It's also known as Drimamancy with a Y, or it's also known as Durimamancy or Dryromancy.
I don't even know where to begin on that one.
Yeah, I'll just tell you. It's go ahead.
Maybe like something to do with tops. Maybe that makes me think of like I don't know.
Oh, like the Dremel.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's maybe where that came from.
So Drimus, Drimus, meant pungent.
Oh.
And also a form of that that could mean dripping bodily fluids. So this is basically dripping blood or dripping bodily fluids, and they would read those bodily fluids and read how it would drip.
Fingers and.
You would read it, and I'm not kidding. Okay.
Wow.
All right, I think I could do that one.
So.
I need some volunteers. I got a knife or two laying around.
Okay. Let's see if I can get one that. Well, y'all would guess this one. Demonmancy. Demonmancy.
I mean, does it have to do with demons? I guess reading
are-
of demons.
Yes,
It's the demons that float around your head.
it is.
Is it the good and the bad one on each shoulder?
It is. It's basically demon readings. Okay, and demon like reading with demons.
Oh, like
call it-
communicating with them?
Yeah,
kinda?
well,
Oh,
and, yeah, and
That's been in that
it's
show
said
I've been
by
watching.
demons, basically, that in divine power. Of
That's
that.
in that show I've been watching. They
Is
talk
it?
about demons, and they actually have the demons help
What's
them
the
with
show you've been
something.
watching?
The Order.
Yeah.
They have
Okay.
the demons. They help them do different
Excuse me.
things.
All right. Here's one. This is interesting. This one's called cybermancy. Like cyber, like CYBER. What do y'all think that would be?
Well, if it was today, it would probably be like computer program reading prophecies and things like that. But you're talking about then.
I would stick with where you're going with that.
Really?
There is such a thing.
I would say, because you know what? I know they found some things that are very ancient that they actually claim that are computer parts, things like that. Like, but they also had things like math, the abacus,
Yeah.
things like that. So I think that's what it is. Is actually, like numbers, things like that. Reading from
Like
it.
using some sort of
Yeah.
calculation tool or something like that?
tool,
This
yeah.
is what that was. Y'all
Yeah.
are correct. Y'all,
Hey, there we
okay,
go.
y'all work together on that one. Okay, so what about now y'all should get this one because we've kind of done this before, but I don't know if I would remember the fancy name for it. Cryptomancy. Cryptomancy.
How about with coins? Reading with coins,
No.
money.
I think that's
Nope.
writing, right? That's
So CRYPTO, crypto. The Greek word was CRUPTOS.
maybe not.
This is the omens that we did before. So this was reading with
yeah.
omens,
Ah.
This-
the hidden things.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Now, this one was interesting. See if y'all can figure this one out. The crawling baby.
The crawling baby.
So, and I will tell y'all how
Is
they do
this
some of
kind of
these.
like where they have those cows and they put the squares on the
Yeah.
floor, then number them, and they bet on which one the cow's going
It's
to poop
kinda like
on?
that.
Or like the
Yeah.
octopus that'll pick the Super
Yes.
Bowl winner
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. We're
Yes.
just going to bet on which square the actual...
Stick a baby on the ground and see what happens.
See which
Probably.
one the baby poops on.
Yep.
Back to those
Or which one
bodily
they sit down on.
fluids. Poops or pees. Pukes.
This one is pretty well known. Conchomancy. Conch.
Shell reading?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't give you a chance on that one, right?
Sorry.
I would have
Uh,
got that one.
yeah.
I was getting
Yeah.
there.
There's a lot with storm, atmosphere, so like cometomancy or so that comets and you're reading, looking when there's a comet, they would read on
That like
readings on that.
assomancy?
Like what?
Assomancy?
What? What are you saying?
Assmancy?
I don't know what you're saying. Oh, God. Okay, y'all. This one's interesting. Claromancy. CLE. I'm not just going to stay on the C's, but these are sort of interesting ones because this one is in the Bible. CLEROMANCY. Claromancy.
What no. I don't know. I was going to say probably something you see. Clarity of it. Smoke
Good
or
try.
Yeah, I'm at a loss on that one.
I would be too. Claros with a K. We say a C. Usually there's this K. That it means a lot. So you're casting lots. If y'all remember in the Bible, when they would cast lots. Yeah. This one's really interesting to me. I asked Roger. I was taking a little nap before we came, and I'm yelling downstairs.
It's called napomancy.
Do we have any napomancy? That would be interesting for me. Okay. Favomancy.
Oh, I know what this one is because she was yelling
You
at me.
wanna
Like, what
guess?
the hell are you talking? Oh,
Favo. Favo. Favomancy.
Favomancy.
Matt.
I don't even know. Does it
Okay.
have something to do with plants, maybe? Or
Think Hannibal.
father.
right. So like beans, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, using beans.
Yeah. So being
What's he say?
Bean reading.
It is.
Nice Chianti with
They-
my fathers.
They would read beans. Seriously. Okay. One of them I found that was really interesting. And Domino Divination. And actually, they canceled because we had to cancel Reader Studio.
Mm-hmm.
But Mitchell, who I want to have on, he's the nicest guy. I think it was Mitchell. Might have been somebody else. But I think it was Mitchell was going to teach us domino reading. Dominoes. Favomancy is beans. That's Latin, not Greek. It's the Latin for faba, which is bean. And then, of course, the mancy. There's the rune casting that we know about. Okay, so one of the really interesting ones was that I was talking to you, Roger, about. Of course, there's the bibliomancy where you open books, different types of books. They have that for all kinds of stuff. I said cartomancy, but I can't remember what it was called when I said you use the needles.
Oh.
Okay, so there's one that's and I'll find it later, but you literally use needles, and they would cast they would throw down 7 or
3, 5, 7, wasn't it?
3, and maybe sometimes more, and they would see how they would land, and they would do readings based on that. That reminds me of those pixie sticks.
Pickup sticks.
Pickup sticks. Do y'all remember? No, pixie sticks you ate. That was sugar.
Pickup sticks.
Pickup sticks. You could do readings with those. Seriously.
Especially if you had 10 pixie sticks, you'd be doing lots of readings.
But if you cast, I don't know if they were doing what kind of needles they're talking about.
Sewing needles.
But you think?
Yeah. It's got to be what it would be.
Okay, so are y'all still having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what astrology is?
Yeah.
That was Mesopotamia. It was also Greek, but even before that, this one was widespread in Mesopotamia. We did the augury. We did that before. That was also the omens.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we've done that. This one was weird. A lot of them are study of entrails. So there's a whole bunch of different words for when you would study
That's on that show too.
the parts of the entrails, the insides or innards of, animals.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it was always because you sacrificed them. It would be if you
Actually,
had to eat.
that's on that show too. It's not always animals. She does the readings with the entrails, but it's to tell the future because she's chasing these people.
Another one that was really interesting, and I don't know if I'll find the name of it, is they would read a lot with flour, and that's really where fortune cookies. I don't know if that's where fortune cookies came from, but they would take flour, and in different ways, Romans would put messages in flowers and send them. Not flowers. In the flour, they would put a little message, and they would send it. They would also, with whatever was left of the flour that they used, they would read that. Just like you would read tea leaves or coffee leaves, they would read their flour. There was a lot of things associated with salt, throwing salt over your shoulder, certain things about superstitions with salt.
Yeah.
Well, they would read salt too, like how it formed if you threw a certain amount of salt and just threw it out, and the shapes of it. So just again, tea leaves or coffee grinds, stuff like that.
So when I'm making a mess when we're baking, I can just say that
just say your
I'm divining something.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to spell that. I meant to spell all that.
Yeah,
out.
it's all on purpose.
I was
Yeah.
doing reading.
It's all on purpose.
Yeah.
And if
Let me
you did-
work, please.
And if you didn't clean it up, say, no, wait, I was reading that.
Yeah, I'm still. I got to get back to
I
that.
haven't-
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not done.
Yeah, I haven't finished
Yeah.
doing my reading yet. I'm getting good money for that.
Something's
Somebody's
coming
waiting
through.
on that reading, so don't.
It's coming through. Hang on, I'm not quite done yet.
Please don't clean that up yet.
Sensing that you're mad at me.
Since then, I better clean that up really fast. Hey, the messiest cooks and bakers are the best, right?
I feel like that's just an excuse to make a mess. To me,
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know how you do it. Though. I don't know how you cook, or I don't know how you bake without spilling flour everywhere. It always
It
gets
goes
everywhere.
That's why I go close to the sink. That way I just.
Yep.
I really think I need to go on that show. Nailed it. because I would win by being
Yeah.
the worst. Okay. So
The winner is the best of the worst, though.
so get this. There's a type of reading called enthusiasm.
The reading's called enthusiasm.
Yes, I'm serious. So it was speeches by those who would be possessed by a divine spirit. So kind of like charismatic, right? So so it was called enthusiasm, though. I thought that was quite interesting. There's reading of insects. And I'm going to get some more where I'm quizzing y'all. Okay. This is too easy, but we'll see if y'all get it. Floriography.
How you read flowers pressed between paper.
Well, you were really specific on that. If you just left it with
Just reading flowers.
that, probably would be a little more accurate. Okay.
I like my idea.
Here's another one. Fruitomancy.
Is that the same thing with fruit?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Or underwear.
Now, this is really interesting. Gastromancy.
Wait, can I really say this, what I really think, or are you going to smack me later?
I think I'm with you on this one.
Well, you could say it in a nice way.
It's how loud you fart.
That's not.
Oh, that's not it? There's so many ways I could have gone with this one.
This is the guttural sounds coming from your belly.
Not from your ass. Gotcha.
No, not the ones that get out. It's the ones that are still in there.
Okay, y'all. I'm out.
I bet she puts a lot more thought into next week's show and which one she brings up.
Matt, this one's for you because you brought it up a little bit earlier. Geomancy.
Now that's rocks. That's got to be rocks.
So yeah, and the earth. Yeah. So
What would they do? Would they like throw them down or
so on
break them open?
geomancy, so there's different things. They would, and this one's actually the African, European divination, Chinese art of divination. It was bled over into feng shui. They did all kinds of stuff with it. But you're right, earth divination. You said rocks, but it says a method of divination that interprets markings on the ground,
Wow.
patterns in either rocks, soil, or sand.
Okay, so
So-
it wasn't even like casting them. It was just like looking at them,
Looking
and
for
seeing it.
patterns.
Okay.
But you could also, they would also do it interpreting, like they would make figures, like 16 figures that they would turn into something, then you would interpret those figures. So eventually they would turn those into sort of like games with figures, kind of like runes or things with symbols.
Yeah.
So eventually they took it a step beyond. In Renaissance magic, and y'all, I'm getting all this just from Wikipedia because I do a whole bunch of research and I go on and on and on, and it'll tell you on Wikipedia that this hasn't been fact checked or whatever, but it's a huge long list because I just was like, okay, the ones I'm finding, they're really boring, and we'll tell you about this box of ancient divination techniques in a second, but I thought this would be fun because a lot of them we've heard of, I mean, we've used, but some of them are so interesting. And it says in Renaissance magic, geomancy was classified as one of the 7 forbidden arts, along with necromancy, hydromancy, aeromancy, pyromancy, which is fire, chiromancy, palmistry, and spatulamancy, which is, this helps it, scapulamancy. That really helps me explain those. But we can look up those other ones. But in Renaissance magic, those were the 7 forbidden arts. One of them was geomancy was forbidden.
It's interesting.
Really bad stuff. You don't do it.
Yeah.
It was all people from all social classes. Most popular forms throughout Africa and Europe, particularly during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. So they were the thing, but they got more sophisticated. Got symbols, things like that on the rocks and on the. All right, so here we go. A lot of them with entrails, hieromancy. That's studying sacrifices, entrails, which I'm not digging. Okay, so hydromancy and even I can't pronounce this, hydotomancy. I'm just going to tell y'all because that's, what do y'all know? Hydra?
Yeah, water.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and raindrops. Okay, here's another one, though. Hyomancy. That's, I'm just going to tell you. Do y'all know what that? Wild hogs. Now, I'm not sure how they would study that. Some of these, they give you more. And then there's hypnomancy. Y'all going to get that one.
Hypnotist.
Kind of,
Kind
but
of.
Sleep?
Yeah. So, sleep.
I'd be really good at that one.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's that nap.
Yeah.
That's that nap studying. Yeah, right. Okay, so of course they put things like in here the Kabbalah. Roger, were the other ones that I had told you that I was wanting to mention?
You had several of them you were telling me about, yes.
Okay, well
But
there's one that I want to mention, but I'm not going to say it because it will how do you pronounce it because I will never live it
No.
down. No, I'm not
You
saying
made us
it.
guess all these things. You got to say it. Oh, you chicken.
The first one under L. I'm not saying
First
it.
one, Libiomancy. Libiomancy. Libya. What do you think that is, Michelle?
I don't know.
Libiomancy.
I don't know what it is. I just know I'd say it wrong and he would say something funny.
It's lips. Lip readings.
I just know I'd pronounce it wrong and he'd say something funny.
Libiomancy.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's. The next one is, okay, so flame reading. That's pretty a big one, right? So this one's when they would read lamps. So lamp, literally, it was called lampodomancy. Okay, so using an oil lamp, which they used a lot, or a torch flame, and they called it a bit different things. But so the diviner would read the movements of the flame.
Kind of like candles.
And also the spots that would be left on pieces of paper, spots of carbon deposited on paper sheets held over the flame. And yet another method, the diviner used the lamp as a means of attracting spirits to the flames. And so that gets into all the kind of candle readings and stuff that we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in candle readings, you can do it all kinds of ways. Roger, you want to tell some of those ways?
Well, you can actually do like the flame itself. You can do the wax. You can do how, like, especially if it's in the glass jars, how it burns maybe one side slower, faster, or how it actually, if it blackens the side of the glass, or if it burns super clear, this height of the flame. Yeah.
Right. That's why I think it's really important to get good candles. We get our candles now from a place in Atlanta. Do you want to tell a little bit about that company?
Oh,
and
well, you know, the candles from Atlanta. Yeah, so it's an African American all-owned company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're really proud of that because they're really cool people.
Yeah, the candles they make are all 100% paraffin wax, so they burn really great. Cotton wax or cotton wick, so it burns really smooth, very clean. Because it is paraffin wax, it is a little tough putting the holes down into the candles, but it can be done.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, you know how like when I take the glass jars and I put the 3 holes down the beside the wick. Mm-hmm. When I do that, you really have to take both hands and you got to go straight down very smoothly. Where some of the candles that have a lot of just impurity stuff or additives in there, it's easy. You just they go right through with no problem. Kind of like going into melted butter.
So it doesn't have any lead in the wicks.
No
they're hand poured.
Yep, hand poured.
Yeah.
The jars, the ones the jars that have stuff on the outside is all silk screened onto the.
Yeah, it's really they're really nice. Really nice. Candles, and we got in a pallet probably
This morning.
No, but 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks
sold
ago.
them all out, and had just now got in another pallet. From
Problem
them.
is they're actually because of everything with the COVID, their inventory is depleting, and they can't get their inventory back in. You know, to make anything.
Oh, wow.
So they're still trying to get stuff in.
But we did get a lot in.
But we did get a lot in. Yeah, I talked to Sean a couple of days ago and told me to put another order in.
we got these, you guys, candles. They're like, how big or round are they, Roger?
They're about 5 inches round, and they're a little bit
big.
taller than a 7-day. These are called 14-day candles.
Yeah.
Yeah, go grab one real quick.
Yeah. So
Grab the
Lizzie's going to
rainbow
grab one. They're huge.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about how you can read the flames, but also just show you these candles. Lizzie bringing one. Look at this, y'all. Roger, you want to show her?
Yeah, this is actually one of them. Yeah.
Really big candles.
See, it's very large candle.
And all those are hand poured, and the
Hand
wick,
poured,
you can
there's
see.
the wick. It's quite a bit long, so you need to trim it down before you light it. Don't just light it. Trim
One
it
of the
back
reasons
down.
you want, besides the obvious reasons you don't want lead stuff, but is also if you ever go into the churches or the old missions, places like that, and you're going to light a candle, they'll usually have you buy from them. And it's not just because they're wanting to make money, but it's where they have what are they called? The frescoes, where the building materials that they used, where they've renovated. Yeah. If you use the lead based, it will damage
Right.
It damages those missions and those
It's
churches.
The smoke that comes off of it damages all everything around it.
So now
that's why these burn
those
really
kind of
smooth. You don't really have any smoke on these.
That's really cool. So I love those. There's
Yeah.
like a solid black one.
Yeah,
It's so
they make them in all the colors. Problem is this was the only 2 colors they had. I ordered all the colors.
got the black,
However, I ordered all the colors. This is all they had left.
So come and get them if you want them, because I'm eyeing those black ones. Okay, here we go. So there is a form of divination. This one, I'm going to see if I can. So this doesn't tell us how they do it, but I do find it interesting. It's called, I just think it'll be funny to hear what Roger has to say on this one. It's called Margaritomancy.
It's how well you can limbo after 4 margaritas.
Okay. Matt?
I mean, I can't think of anything other than down in a couple of
I got another one.
Okay.
yeah.
I got another one. Ready?
Yeah.
It's how your flip-flop blows out. And where this salt shaker is.
Yeah.
So Greek for marguerites is the word pearl. Plus mantia, or whatever, as I told y'all, mancy is prophecy. So this is, they bounce pearls, and they would read how the pearls bounced. And I can't tell you exactly, but I could be creative and think about that,
Bounce
depending
the
on how the
off
pearls
drums.
bounce. There's mathomancy. There's, no, I'm not going to read that one. And of course, like I said, all kinds of thunder, clouds. We've talked about that. We've had shows on that. Okay. I'm going to try to say this. Molosophy. What do y'all think that is?
It's the study of the trails the moles leave in the ground.
That's a good guess. Matt?
How is that spelled? How's that?
Moleo.
Okay.
Molosophy. Mole.
I don't know. I think like like something small, like a molecule or something like that.
Lizzie?
Like
You
a mole.
ding,
Oh,
ding,
like
ding,
literally a
ding.
mole. Okay.
Lizzie, we have a winner in the house. Mole. It's a mole. It's literally the study of blemishes. People, they would read, not the study, it's the reading of a blemish. So you have a mole, and they're going to read that and tell you,
I think mine would be more interesting.
huh? So I'm going to look at this. Oh, literally, they would map it out, you guys. It's a technique of divination and fortune telling based on the observation and interpretation of bodily marks, primarily those of moles.
I'd be damn good at this one because I was hell on connect the dots.
So this would be moles, birthmarks, blemishes. It's been practiced in many societies throughout history. It has never achieved the status of dream divination, astrology, or palmistry. As such, it has been classified as a species of more superstition or folklore rather than what we call a pseudoscience.
I say with a Sharpie, you could do this one really easily.
Yeah.
Come on in with a Sharpie. I'll got a Sharpie. Who
Yeah.
wants to read it?
Who's
drawing
going
it.
to
Who
go? Because I want to do, and I don't know what the fancy word is, but I've mapped up all the teeth, and your teeth do hold memory. So it's fascinating. I've told y'all about this, right? So I can do teeth readings, but people don't want you I don't want people up in my face looking at my teeth. Like, I even get intimidated when I know somebody's a dentist. I immediately go, okay, I don't want to talk to you. But who's going to go in and go, okay, look at my blemishes and give me a reading? Who's going to want to do that?
You can have something super
What?
unique.
Say it, what letter?
Super unique.
So if they have something super unique, or if they have a unique birthmark, but in general, are you going to want to go read my blemishes?
I'm telling you, you take a Sharpie, you connect the
Blemishes.
dots.
Blemishes half
Wes,
off
come on down. I got you. covered.
half off blemish readings today. I'd be like $5 blemish readings today only. Who's going to want to do that? You do? You should see this. So
just
this
think about
guy's
it, with
poor
his Sharpie.
face. They have really mapped his face out with astrology on here. They've got Cancer up here on his head. I mean, it's all mapped out.
My best friend and I have matching birthmarks, which is kind of interesting.
What are they and where are they?
Mine is right here. I think it's technically a third nipple, if you want to talk about
Well,
that.
oh,
I don't
now
know
that
we
we're
need to get into that. I don't know that we need to get into that. But yeah, his is on. Well, it's like the opposite side. So like if we stood next to each other, they would be like here. And
Oh,
here.
come here, Lizzie.
Very,
what do you want to
very
say?
fascinating.
So bad.
Just come here. What do you want to say?
Okay. Have you heard the theory of
in.
like your birthmarks are like how you've died in a past life? Have you ever heard about that?
Tell us.
It's like super interesting. Well, I read this it was a long time ago, but I read this one thing and it was like I have this really weird birthmark that's shaped kind of like a knife insert.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were heard about the theory and Googled a bunch, and it was way back when there was this little kid who died by a weird knife
That's
insert
interesting.
right deep in the middle of his back.
That may be the kind of reading they're talking about. No,
Yeah, which
thank
I
you.
think that's really interesting.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's moleopathy or molemancy.
I don't know. Maybe I was shot in the side then, or something like that.
Yeah.
perhaps.
Or-
Basic bitters. Sword.
I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
The third nipple thing.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth, and it's odd, and we
No, that
latched
could-
onto that forever.
That could come into it. Would you say latch onto it?
Well, no, not literally, not literally, but we always thought it was a cool thing.
It is a
Like,
cool
hey,
thing.
we got matching birthmarks.
That is kind of cool,
Yeah.
though. I wonder if I'm sure now that there's something for reading tattoos, right? I mean, we have decks
If they're
that are
not, they need to
tattooed
be.
decks, but I wonder if
wanted
people
us
now
to do a
read.
show on spiritual tattooing.
Well, set it up, babe.
All
Set it
right,
up.
I am.
Okay.
I need a spiritual tattooist.
Okay, here we go. Y'all are gonna
Spiritual.
get this. And Matt, I really was kidding. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt's crying guy.
Moromancy. Moromancy or moromancy.
How well you do on a test, or how well you.
This is
Don't
prophecy.
do
though.
moron mancy.
Yeah.
Study of intelligence, what is?
Moros is dull.
Oh, okay.
Mancy is so you got it. It's the study of foolishness.
Oh,
Like how I'm
got
gonna
that
have to
one
sign up
covered.
for that reading too, right?
I got that one covered.
Okay, let's go down to the P's.
We better hurry.
Well, I'm just skipping around. Oh, well, one thing I forgot to say on those, whether it's on the needles or you could use knives, okay? So they would throw knives and they would set up, and I even took a picture. Let's see if I didn't send it to you, Matt, but they would do a square and number one, basic patterns. And could do it in a circle or a square and position one. It'd be kind of well, I don't know, y'all, maybe where y'all said, wherever the
Wherever the cow poops.
the cow poops or whatever, but wherever the knife lands, position 1 was love, 2's money, 3's gift, 4's grief, 5's danger. Wherever the stuff landed, that's what is going on. So I feel like you could do that with a lot of things. You could kind of cast crystals, you could cast different things, and it goes through 20, like 20 success, right in the middle is number 10 is rudeness,
We
you
do
know.
stuff like that.
Huh?
We do. Yeah, it has like charms.
So it's like a casting cloth. You would have different things you could cast onto. I think that's interesting. So they would use that with the knives or the needles or different things like that.
They should just have a spin a wheel. How about that? Just a spin a wheel, have like all the different ones and say, spin a wheel, I'll give you a reading.
Wheelomancy.
Yeah, Willomancy.
Willomancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I be the Vanna?
I can do this.
Willomancy. Okay. This one is called Philomancy. PH. Philomancy. I think y'all should get this one. Think phylum.
Like in the animal kingdom?
You're close.
Like family? Does it have something to do with family?
You were more on the right track with the kingdoms, but it would be like plants. I'm sure phylum it could be animals too. Yeah, Philomancy, study of leaves, study of different, it goes into all different kinds.
Okay.
They even did fig leaves. I think it'd be interesting.
The texture and taste of leaves.
So,
I know a lot of people who study leaves.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Spend a lot of time.
They spend
yeah,
a lot of time on
Studying
studying
leaves.
those leaves.
leaves.
I don't know that they ever learned anything, but
No.
So you'll know the study of necromancy. What is that?
Death.
So it's speaking to dead
to the dead.
corpses.
Yep.
So, and then necromancy is summoning
bringing 'em
damned souls. And then nephomancy, remember, is the clouds, because I was like, gotten it confused, and I was talking about
Totally
studying.
not where I thought you were going with that one.
Uh-huh.
Never mind. Keep going.
And of course, there's numerology, so you got some stuff thrown in there. Let's see. Let's go to some T's. Y'all liking this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Lizzie, you can play. Y'all gonna get this one. Zoomancy.
that's with a T?
With a Z.
Oh,
Zoo.
with a Z. So animals,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, so
Zoology.
it's zoology,
Yeah.
more wild animals. There was a lot of stuff with chickens and roosters. A lot of study, not just like entrails, but they would study their movements, which way they would go, and which one was I reading to you, Roger, about cats? I don't remember the name of it. Well, let's just say catomancy.
Feliniomancy.
We're just gonna make it up, but it is a thing.
Feline.
It is a thing, and they would watch, like, if their tails went a certain way. It was mainly to determine the weather, and they would watch cats to determine. So y'all know how many things.
Our cat, the most he does is stands on the stairs and waits till I come by to high five me.
Yeah, he does. He does
He
do that.
talks with his ears.
So, I said augury was omens, but really that's bird formations. A lot of studying the nature and bird formations. Okay, let's see if y'all can get this one. Now, Matt, this one is for Matt.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I don't know what it is.
Y'all, I remember how Matt said he had a lot of time that he was not having to do things that he didn't, keeping him busy.
Mm-hmm.
Work after work. Myomancy.
Myomancy. I don't. Does it have something to do with time or clocks or something like that?
What's been keeping you busy in your garage?
Oh, rats.
Yeah, so those
Oh,
little
gosh.
critters.
I'm good at that now.
Yeah. Did you catch them?
No, we are working on it. We
Yeah.
have there was a company coming out. I was told that they were fighting today, but apparently we have warring factions of rats in our
Are you kidding?
No, I think it's like the attic rats and the crawl space rats, and they're at war with each other. And the garage is the battlefield, apparently.
What? They're dressed
You need
up.
to like
So-
write a play on this.
They're
I mean,
dressed
I
up.
think,
Yeah, I
you
know.
need, I think you need to do a little video of this.
They're
I-
dressed like Rambo.
Yeah.
Got their little guns
No,
and
Matt, you've got to
knives.
do a little documentary of this.
I don't get to hear any of this. I just got a text today saying, "Hey, the rats are fighting again." So I guess so. I don't know. I don't hear. I guess they go to sleep whenever I'm at home, or they hide from me.
They behave.
because
They're
they know
scared of you.
they know I'm looking for them.
Because you are on the hunt. So
Yeah.
that is now you are need to the study of this and reading that is rodent behavior. It's actually rodent prophecy. It's called myomancy. So now I think you're going to be the expert in that.
Your rats are trying to tell you something.
Yeah, they were trying to tell me they were getting into all my old college stuff. Is what they were. I don't know what they were after, but
Oh, interesting.
they tore up a lot of my college stuff that I kept with me. I guess I didn't need it anymore.
Maybe there's a
maybe that was the message.
Maybe.
Throw this old hat away.
Maybe.
Yep.
A lot of the things that they do is a lot of having to do with smoke, stuff like that. I don't know how we're on time since we started late. Do you want to do some readings?
We're like,
Are we over?
We're over.
Well, okay, then I know Matt's tired. We want to get him home. So
I'm good.
Matt said he has to go home and fight the rats.
Yeah.
There's water. Okay, this is interesting. Videomancy.
Wait, from the Greek?
I didn't say they were all from the Greek.
Oh.
From the English, video, plus the Greek, mantia, prophecy. So videomancy.
This is ancient.
Well, it's listed under ancient.
Is it something to do with visions?
I would say probably the old photography.
It is
The
kind
old
of
photography.
or the old
readings.
films and studying some sort of prophecy.
The
from
shadow effects of the films.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do with, the wishbones. They call it something really fancy, furcula or something like that. And those do a lot to have to do with superstitions. I know I'm going to get off and go, why the heck didn't I remember some of those really funny ones? Roger, I told you some of the other ones. And I can't remember all of them. There's the one that was the needles, you guys, is called occultomancy, but it's not occult like it's, I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's ACULT. So that means prickle or thorn. It's a needle in the Latin, and then mancy is the prophecy. And then there's other ways that you can pronounce it, but they would use those knives and needles and thorns for a lot of readings. Sharp objects, again, just on and on, the way they would use sharp objects to do readings. Rooster divination. The flower, I really did find that fascinating. And that's called alluromancy. It's ALEURO flower for divination. This came from the Greek. And they really would use these little tablets. They would form the flower into little tablets, and they would send them to different people. This was the second millennium BCE. They would do this. Flour was poured out into heaps, small heaps, and the interpretation was based on the observation of the shapes and in orientation. And also, in its original form, slips of paper containing the philosophical writings would be baked inside of cakes or cookies. And then they would be distributed to those wishing for their fortunes to be told.
That's cool.
Similarly, the Greeks.
Along with the lottery numbers.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Okay, so we just had that was Lizzie in our professional studio. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. We're all good. We actually do have some really nice lights in here, if y'all want to know.
We did have.
And we did. So that actually comes from the it's fine. You're good, right? Okay. That comes from, this was interesting. So those slips of paper then led to the Greeks would pour those slips of paper with sentences on them inside of balls. The flour, they would mix the balls 9 times and distribute them. And then modern fortune cookies are a variant on those. I didn't know how modern fortune cookies were. I didn't look that up. How they also would interpret, like I said, whatever's left in the bowl. Because you use what you have, right? I mean, you don't have to always go out we want you to go spend and get the really fun cards and things like that. But it's not always, I have always said you can just read whatever. You can read dowsing. It was a really popular thing. This is my favorite pendulum because it's just beautiful. This one will be passed down, right? It's gorgeous. I'm looking at Lizzie. But this deck we have is called Divination of the Ancients, and I do have one open and I couldn't find it. The cool thing about this deck, we do have this for sale, and the cool thing about it, thank you, Roger. Gosh, you guys, I am so sorry, I'm hitting everything. The cool thing about this deck is you draw in this deck, and it tells you different kinds of things you might want to work with. So if I've used it with people I coach, I would have them draw, and maybe they already know that they like cartomancy, or like reading cards, right? But they might draw it and realize they might want to work with candle readings. They might want to work with reading flour, not baking flour, but flowers, because that is a type of reading. They might want to read scents or things like that. Yeah. All the different runes. And so this deck is really good for that, to show you something that you might be interested in. Not only that, the book is really good in that it doesn't tell you all these kind of really out there ones that we talked about tonight, but it tells you a bunch of different, like runes, scrying, crystal ball gazing, all this, a lot of things we have talked about on various shows, or that I've done things on YouTube. That, by the way, you guys watch those. They're free at Michelle Soultopia. There's so many videos on all those types of things. But this deck is really good for that. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to use. And to say, what other type might I want to learn? There's, palmistry, tarot, dream interpretation. There's the black cat, and readings with, good fortune, and like you said, cat readings. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good deck to use. I did also want to tell you guys that we got so many beautiful things, and I'm not going to go anywhere near touching it because things are falling around here today. But these beautiful boxes. What else, Roger? Just so many cool things we got in.
We'll have it out in the next few days, so come this weekend.
Yeah. So, but
because we do have Soultopia Sensation this weekend.
One of the things that in our Intuitive Insights class is we do, myself and then when Rachel Minot teaches, both of us love mixing it up with different types of readings. There's also a thing called veil readings. They used to read, literally when you would buy your lace, you'd go buy your fabric. They would give you a reading based on, they would hold up your lace and they'd hold it to your face and they'd read through that veil, like reading through the veil, or they'd read your fabric, and we do those types of reading based on the fabric you pull. So you'd go buy all your fabric and then you would get a reading on that. So we do those, and the sky's the limit with the kinds of readings you can do. You can make, it's like, oh, I'm making this up. Well, that's what everybody did. They used what they could find, rocks on the ground, right?
Chicken bones.
Yeah, you can use whatever you want to use.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is to set what it means, okay? Instead of changing it, because that's when I see people not be very good readers, and I'm being blunt here. They'll go, I know, that must have not meant that, because that surely should have, maybe that fell in the wrong pile, and maybe that pile meant this instead of this. I never change that. I never, ever will change that. Or maybe, I'm sure there's some exception to it. But when I say this means this and this means this, I stick with it, even if it seems the opposite. And the person says, well, that really makes sense, but it seems the opposite. I'll say, well, there's a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? So set your intention. If you're gonna read with bottle caps, they used to be a thing, collecting bottle caps. I'm showing my age, but it was a really big thing. If you're going to read with those, then set your intention what it means.
Yep.
So read with anything. And I think was why I kind of wanted to do this show. Plus, I think it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we came out unscathed. Lights are okay and everything else. And Matt, thanks for participating
You
with
bet.
us. And I think we're going to let him get home to his warring the rats. It's West Side Story of the Rats, I think, right? And so I want to see the documentary on that. And Roger, anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, you guys, thanks as always for joining us, and especially a little bit late tonight. And you can find us on the podcast platforms, but especially if you would follow us on Michelle Soultopia on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do on there. And also on Facebook, Soultopia, and also on Instagram, Soultopia, just all the places on social media. That would be great. And come in and see us also. Thanks for watching SoulWhat, where we talk about things that matter to our souls, and you get to decide what matters to yours. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Good night.